Okay. So next guy is Diontae Johnson.
I'm excited about Diontae, bro.
Dude,
I'm super excited about him.
I am too. And we've had past talks about receivers. We didn't really specifically hone in on him from what I can remember. And you're just thinking Ben's back. Do we really need one receiver that bad to be stepping up like that? If anyone, it's going to be Juju. Yeah. The more I'm thinking about it, dude, I made a video on my YouTube channel. I was randomly doing something. I can't. You know how I am. It's just I get an idea. I'm like, I got to do this. I made a YouTube video on Diontae Johnson. It was literally every catch from his 2019 season. It's just a highlight tape.
Yeah.
Really simple. Every catch, little music in the background. So you text me about this topic yesterday, and I'm like, all right, Diontae Johnson, he's gonna make a leap. How bad do we need to make a leap? But then I'm like, you know what? Let me go back at that highlight tape, and let me see what he's about a little bit more. Could he be Jarvis Landry / Julian Edelman for us, where this guy needs to get 100 receptions this year? He was money from 7 and 8 yards out doing like a little hook route and then even extend it past the first down from 10, 11, 12, 13 yards. Money right there. You give him the ball in like a little drag route across over the middle. It's just you pass it 3 yards, but then he's going to get an extra 2, 3, 5 yards guaranteed. Easily. And that's just like you're running the ball for 4 yards. Yes. What's the difference there? That's a positive play. But what he brings to the table... Now, I'm not trying to knock Edelman or Landry. I probably see more of Edelman than Landry. But he brings that deep ball element too. Yes. Where he could get past the defenders and make a play down the field. I think we got to get this ball, Diontae Johnson, the ball a lot this year, man. Like 100 receptions. Like we should make that, I guess, the baseline for him. We're just going to get him the ball and see what happens.
When we talk about the guys that I'm most excited about making that year 2 jump, Diontae jumps off the screen to me, man. You talk about just how short-handed he is, first off, and how the routes don't even have to be complex. He's still able to get open. He still has a really good feel for sitting down versus zone or being able to make moves to get open versus a man defense. He makes the first guy miss a lot. And he's already shown big play capabilities both as a receiver and in the return game. So when you factor in the fact that he was still doing that with Mason Rudolph and Devlin Hodges, you have to understand this. They weren't doing a lot of checking at the line to scheme him to an open, easier play. It was whatever they call it, that's what they're going to run, regardless if it's a good call or not versus that particular look. With Ben, mentally, you already know how far ahead he is. If he sees a certain defense, he knows, okay, I can check this right now. And just by the scheme, by this call, you're going to be open. Those are the things that makes me so excited about Diontae, because I know, man, you did this without Ben. You were still able to do these things. Man, now with Ben, regardless of how if he's 100% or if he's 70%, just the mental of Ben, no different than the Peyton Manning effect when they won it that last year for Manning. Even though he physically, he had dropped off, mentally, he still could get them in the right call every time. So for me, that's banked on. So, man, in that regard, I know, like, everything is pointing arrows super up for Diontae. I think he's going to, my hot take, I think he's going to have the best year out of all the receivers on the Steelers team, personally.
That's my hot take.
That's what I feel.
I wouldn't say a hot take.
Because I know people are saying Juju. I know a lot of guys are hype on Claypool. But for me, man, dude, Diontae, man, even with James Washington, I think James Washington's still going to be good. But the things that Diontae can do, the safety net, like you said, the underneath routes, those are your money guys. Those are the guys, your Wes Welkers, your Julian Edelmans, you said your Jarvis Landrys. Those are the guys. And that's what Diontae is. And that's before we even get to the return game. In the return game, I talked about how early in the year, I wasn't a fan of him returning the punts. And that's what they had Switch out there for so long because ball security. He had fumbled one and he just didn't have good catching mechanics. He was catching the punts outside his framework. Yeah. Season progresses, he tightens up on terms of his catching mechanics. Now you feel extremely confident because you don't have to worry about, is it 50-50? Are you going to retain possession or not? Because nobody likes that. It was plenty of dope return men that we had in Pittsburgh that we were like, I'm not putting that guy out there if I have to worry about him catching the ball or not or holding on to the ball. I don't care if you could take it to the house, because if you put it on the ground once and we turn it over, that's an issue. So now that he's cleaned that element up as well, man, sky's the limit. The sky is the limit.
Do you agree that he does add a little bit more with the deep play ability than the Welkers, the Edelmans, the Jarvis Landry?
Like those guys are elite slot
I don't know about I've seen Landry make some pretty dynamic catches.
This is the thing. No, Landry can catch anything.
Yeah.
The thing, what makes Landry different is his toughness. I've never seen a receiver to play with the toughness that he plays with and his athletic ability. Like we talk about Hines. Hines was tough in the sense of like he's going to hit you with the blind side blocks. He's going to give you that. Jarvis does that as well. But when Jarvis gets the ball, Jarvis runs like a running back. Like he's that type of physical mentality, that type of runner with the ball. That's the thing that separates him. Whereas with Edelman understands, he's super smart. Edelman knows, okay, this is going to be open in this versus this defense. All right, this is going to be that. That's going to be there. And he had that perfect rapport with Brady. Diontae has a chance, I think, to be better than both of those guys because athletically, I feel like he's a better athlete than Jarvis and a better athlete than Edelman. Now, the biggest question is, can he mentally get to the point where Edelman was in understanding versus any defense, this is where we need to go. This is where I need to be at and have that rapport with Ben because this will be his first full season with Ben. So those are some of the question marks. But overall, man,
I'm excited, dude.
I'm super hype about him, man.
Yeah, because initially I'm just thinking, he's going to make a jump. 900, 1,000 yards, whatever. But then I thought about it more. I'm like, I looked at the highlight tape. Dude. I'm like, damn, we might need to get this dude the ball 100 times.
Dude.
Like, minimum.
I'm excited to see what he looks like in year 2.